Hard Mark Podcast.
Shrimp on the barbie. Shrimp on the barbie. Do you respect that? That's corruption. I could make a fake snake. You do not pee in the pool. You do not pee on the barbie. All of myself is clean.
Broadcasting from Ryan's Dishwasher, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between, welcome to the Hard Mark Podcast, a show where I, Eric Donaldson, wrestling fan of over 30 years, introduce one match per episode to my co-host who has never watched wrestling. We talk about the backstory, we watch the match, and then we rank that match on our ever-growing list. The purpose of this show is to see what happens when someone who's never watched wrestling is introduced to its most notable matches, and without any further ado, my authentically coke-sucking co-host, Flying Ryan Murphy. Ryan, how are you doing, my friend?
You brought that up real quick. This will be the next episode.
Yeah, well, you know, we got to start. It's been a whole week since people have heard our melodious tones, sir.
Those are probably like root beer, Mountain Dew. Okay.
I mean,
I understand, Eric, what's happening. I'm just trying to straighten it out for the audience. Okay. Like
Heather did confirm that she remembers kids doing it. Yeah. And it was, you know, cool kids.
Very cool.
The best kids that we had.
Did she say that?
She said it was like a cool thing to do in a very small,
finite. It had a window.
Yeah, it had a window of time where people were sucking their cokes.
Yeah.
Really quick note before we get into the wrestling discussion here. I meant to say this last time, although it wasn't actually fully done. Now it is. The match ranking that I've posted for everyone. So we always talk about, like, even more so than the number itself, like what section it's in. Like, is this amazing? Is this great? Is this good? Is it okay? Yada, yada. I've actually color-coded the match ranking list that is visible to all the folks through our link tree and whatnot. So if you're curious, like, where each of us have put like all the okay matches and like what's the best good match versus what's the lowest great match, all that stuff, you can actually see exactly what we're talking about now on that list. For anyone who may be curious, I did spend a moment during the break between episodes kind of color coding all that stuff, which is a much bigger pain in the ass than I thought it was going to be.
Can they see it on the actual sheet?
They cannot see the sheet. Maybe there's a way of publicizing it where, you know, in an easy to use format, but no, I have it on a WordPress site. I just have it numbered with links to each episode now. Nice. Along with, for anyone who didn't know this, all of the scientific rankings that Ryan has done on Rumpus Time, those are also on our WordPress site. So if you're ever curious, like, what did Ryan rank condiments? You can find that. You can find the fetish rankings. Anything that Ryan has ranked, I have posted on our WordPress site.
Good.
In addition to the color-coded list. So, FYI about that. Allow me to take a sip of beer here, sir.
Please allow him, Mike.
Please allow me a moment. And now that you've allowed me that, allow me to preface what I'm about to say by stating, for the record, the thing that I'm going to talk about is my fault. I fully accept the blame for this issue. I want to make sure that's very clear. Ryan is a sensitive soul. He's a real people pleaser, so I don't want to offend him. With that said, Ryan, you don't know shit about tag team wrestling.
A little bit. I do.
You don't know shit. What do you know?
Kind of pisses me off that you said that.
I accept the blame, Ryan. I accept the blame for this issue.
Sometimes it's kind of bullshit, you know, tag team.
Well, today we're gonna change that, Ryan. We're gonna make you an expert here today. This is your crash course in tag team wrestling. So one of the drawbacks of our format of this show, and there's very few because it's a great show, generally speaking, but one of like one or two drawbacks is that I'm cherry picking the matches that we watch, which means that in many cases, what we're watching are like grudge matches. Oftentimes we're skipping to the tail end of these feuds where the matches that we see are pretty lax as far as the rules are concerned. Now, for me, going back to when I was a kid, when I was watching wrestling, there'd be the occasional steel cage match and whatnot, but for every one cage match with blood and no rules, there'd be several hundred regular ass wrestling matches that I would be watching. And when you break it down to its very essence, if you're someone way back in the day creating what pro wrestling would be, why would you bother having rules in a fake sport? Probably the most obvious answer is so that it at least has the appearance of being real, but more importantly for our conversation here today is so that the bad guys have ways to cheat. So again, back in the day, there were no elaborate storylines involving sock puppets, Zambonis, or graveyard fistfights.
Fake snakes.
No fake snakes to speak of. The stories were often told 100% in the ring, which meant that the more rules that you had established and were known to the fans, the more of a reaction or heat the bad guys could get by breaking those rules. So by the end of the match, if a heel had gone above and beyond with their rule breaking, the fans would be clamoring for the good guy to respond the same way. So after like the third or fourth time that the bad guy pulls the good guy's hair, when the good guy finally has had enough and he does it back, it gets a reaction. It sounds silly, but so much of wrestling is just psychology and having an understanding of human nature. For example, Jim Cornette, who is a highly controversial figure in wrestling due to his basement-dwelling incel fans, they outline pro wrestling like this, which I've paraphrased. Let's say you're driving down the road and you see two guys fighting, a big guy and a little guy. Your inclination would be to pull over and see what happens. The big guy is wailing on the little guy, and you're like, boy, that little guy is getting the shit kicked out of him, but that big guy's too big for me to fight, so I'm not going to get involved. But then the little guy gets up and he starts firing back with punches, and the big guy's getting the shit kicked out of him. And you're going, yeah, hit him again, because even if you don't know who these people are, human nature is to root for the underdog. Now, imagine that you know that little guy, and you like him, and he's your hero. And imagine that you know the big guy, and he's a dick, and you want to see him get his ass kicked. Now, instead of driving down the road and stopping, you might want to pay money and see that fight to see if the little guy can kick the shit out of the big guy and get even for you. That's wrestling.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and again, things have changed over the past couple of decades where it's a lot more spectacle and athleticism than it used to be, but the idea originally was an emotional connection. And so just to more or less summarize that bit, wrestling is at its best when you can create that emotional connection to what's happening in the ring. Me personally, I love fast-paced matches, hard-hitting matches, violent matches, but just having all those things for the sake of having it only goes so far. For me, the peak of wrestling is when you can have those things alongside engaging characters and an emotional investment in what's happening. And so with all that said, let's get into our match here today. So first, we have the young heartthrob team, just like you and I, a couple of good Lutheran boys, known as the Rockers. The Rockers were comprised of a man that we've seen quite a bit of in Shawn Michaels and his partner, Marty Jannetty. Their team existed well before Shawn would go on to superstardom, so the version of Shawn that we're going to be seeing today is pre-Heartbreak Kid, pre-Montreal Screwjob, pre-ladder match. He was just a young guy trying to make some success for himself as a tag team wrestler, which at that point, Shawn was considered way too small to be successful as a single, as the WWF was very much the land of the 300-plus pounders at the time. But in a tag team, Shawn's size was less of an issue. His partner, Marty Jannetty, is probably a little person. God damn you. Probably known more for his exploits outside of the ring these days. It's possible he may hold the record for the most times fired by the WWF. Also, one time he posted on social media about wanting to have sex with a girl that he at one point thought was his daughter, but then a DNA test proved otherwise. So he thought this girl was his daughter, then he had a DNA test, found out it's not his daughter, then he wanted to have sex with her.
Jesus.
He claimed he got hacked.
Yeah. That's your only go-to at that point. Like, there's no saving.
I got hacked. Yeah. They should. You don't see that as much anymore these days. They should go back to that well more. That felt like 5-10 years ago. Like,
did
all the
it work
time.
for him? Was he like free of all?
Did he have sex with her?
No, but was he free of the like fan backlash?
Oh, I think by this point the fans more or less kind of knew, like, oh, Marty.
That's just Marty.
Oh, Marty being Marty. Like there wasn't anything to some legacy to ruin anymore. He wasn't being trotted out on Raw on Netflix for a big sponsorship deal by this point or anything. He also alluded in an interview that in his younger days, a man attempted to sexually assault him, and he ended up killing the guy and dumping the body in the Chattahoochee River. He has occasionally dodged follow-up questions about that incident ever since. So Marty's had quite a life, basically, is the point that I'm getting at. But back in the 1980s, Marty wasn't any of these things, at least not publicly. At the time of our match today, Marty was the more seasoned veteran member of the Rockers, although he was just as athletic and dynamic as the high-flying Shawn Michaels. Together, the Rockers brought an element to the WWF that didn't really exist otherwise, which was a young female audience. The Rockers, with their youthful vigor, long hair, and glam rock outfits, were far prettier than most of the competitors of the WWF. With apologies to Hacksaw Jim Duggan and the Big Boss Man, they were not going to be on the cover of Teen People anytime soon. The Rockers were able to use their looks to generate interest from women, which was usually apparent from the high-pitched screams as they made their entrance, but then due to their fast-paced offense and tandem maneuvers, they were able to make fans of the rest of the audience too. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
No.
So as the Rockers went on, they would fight their way through the ranks of the tag team division. One of the teams that would prove to be the biggest challenge were known as the Brain Busters, seconded by the greatest manager of all time, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Wait. Okay. All right. I got two questions real quick.
Yeah, please.
You would fight that he is...
Anyone who says Bobby the Brain Heenan is not the greatest manager of all time is mistaken.
But you said second best.
Seconded.
Seconded. Okay.
Meaning he was their manager.
Okay.
So
all right. Gotcha.
They're second in boxing.
Did they strictly fight tag team fights?
The Brain Busters?
Yeah. No, the
Rockers?
The Rockers, yeah.
For the most part. I mean, occasionally, you'd have like if one was hurt or banged up or whatever, you'd like, but
mostly they would
almost exclusively tag team wrestling.
Right,
yes,
right.
yes. And the same thing with the Brain Busters as well. So again, managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan, the greatest manager of all time. The Brain Busters, comprised of Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, were in many ways the opposite of the Rockers. They encapsulated the dad bod look decades before the term was invented. They wouldn't be caught dead wearing neon, and it was a rare sight to see them climb to the top rope. But what the Brain Busters lacked in these areas, they made up for in one especially important one. They could cheat their fucking asses off. If there was a rule to exploit, then by God, Anderson and Blanchard knew how to take advantage of it. If there was a gray area of uncertainty about whether or not a rule had been broken, they could maximize that confusion to their benefit. So when you talk about wrestling as a heel, wrestling in a way that will make the audience boo you, Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard were masters of their craft. So having said that, I think it's important to discuss the rules of wrestling, specifically the ones pertaining to tag team wrestling. Now, in a standard match, which some of this may be old hat to you salty old wrestling sea dog.
Thank you.
But in a standard match, which is what we're going to be watching here today, a match can end via pinfall, i.e. pinning your opponent's shoulders to the mat for 3 seconds. It can also end via submission, otherwise known as making your opponent give up. Count out, which happens when the referee reaches the count of 10 when the wrestlers are outside of the ring or if they're both down in the center of the ring, or disqualification, which is when a rule is broken. So let's delve into that last one a little bit. There's certain things in wrestling that will end a match in an immediate disqualification, like if you hit your opponent with an object like a chair or other weapon.
No, of course, that always... I haven't seen a match that hasn't ended...
False.
Upon...
Okay, I know you're making jokes here. We did see a match.
Funny, like
Charlotte Flair and Ronda Rousey ended when Charlotte hit Ronda with a kendo stick.
That's because they enforced the rule.
Exactly. But again, and I already explained this, a lot of the matches that we're watching are like the end of feuds. So they've already gone through all the normal matches, like, we can't settle this unless it's no rules, steel cage, yada, yada, yada. So like we just tend to go to those because those are...
This is a more regular
match. This is not like the end-all feud-ending match. This is just one of the matches that kind of lead to, eventually a conclusion of the feud between these wrestlers, these teams. So yeah, disqualification, like hitting your opponent with a object, a chair, other weapon. There's other things the referee will give you a slap on the wrist the first or second time that you do it, but if you keep doing it, the referee could, at their discretion, and that's kind of the key point. They don't have to disqualify you, but they could if they wanted to, end the match and disqualify you for it. So we've seen examples of most of these before, mainly in Ric Flair matches. He tends to be kind of, one of those rule-breaking types of wrestlers, much like Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. But just to summarize, the ropes, which I know you love the ropes, they're out of bounds. If you have somebody in a submission hold and they break the plane of the rope, you need to break contact. Many referees will administer a 5 count, and if you don't break by 5, they can disqualify you. Similar rules are in place for a pinfall. If you pin your opponent's shoulders to the mat and they break the plane of the ropes, the pin is considered illegal and you have to break contact. Now, even if you climb to the top rope, the referee will actually, if you pay attention, will typically begin to administer a 5 count because, again, the ropes are considered to be out of bounds. You also can't grab your opponent's trunks or hair. While guys do grab each other by the hair all the time, you'll usually see the referee admonish them for it and maybe even start administering a 5 count. Grabbing trunks is similar, especially if you're using your opponent's trunks to gain more leverage when you're pinning them. That's considered to be cheating. There's no low blows, eye pokes, or gouges, biting, strangulation. You're not supposed to kick people with the point of the toe, only the flat of the foot, or used closed fist punches. So everything that we just talked about are your standard rules for a one-on-one match. Any questions about any of that? I know you have your thoughts.
Yeah, no, I think I think I'm good.
Okay. For tag team matches specifically, though, there's some added rules. So for a tag, when you're tagging your teammate, to be considered legal, the team member on the outside of the ring must have both feet on the apron, and they have to be holding the tag rope, which is tied to the turnbuckle. That ensures that your teammate can't wander around to anywhere on the ring to make a tag. It has to be in your designated corner.
I feel like they do that all the time.
Wander around?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll find out here today, I suppose.
A little cheating going on.
Maybe a little bit of cheating. Wow. Hard to say. Also, traditionally, the tag must be hand-to-hand touch. That has been relaxed in recent years. We'll occasionally see the old backslap tag, but usually the partners must touch each other's hands for it to be considered an actual legal tag.
Have we not seen a bunch of matches where they're just like help me, and they just jump in?
Sure, but that's illegal.
Right, but it's fair game, too.
Well, yeah, but you can't stay in. The referee will get the illegal man out of the ring. That's different than tagging.
No, I know it's different than tagging. I understand that. That's what. But okay, I mean, so
legal men can only pin legal men.
You're saying watch the match and know the rules, but look out for.
Yeah. That's the main gist of what I'm getting across for sure. Also, the referee must acknowledge the tag. That's a really important one.
Yeah.
Usually that involves seeing the tag take place, but ultimately it's at the referee's discretion on whether or not a tag was legal. So even if they didn't see it, if they are basically like, okay, I think it happened, we'll count it, then it's fine, then it counts. Both members of the team are not allowed to be in the ring at the same time. Now again, this one gets broken a lot. Usually if that does happen, and it will, that will result in the referee administering a 5 count to get the illegal man back out on the apron. And this next bit is not necessarily a rule per se, but you'll frequently see teams attempting to, quote, cut off the ring. That means that in a tag match, they're going to try and keep their opponents on the side of the ring away from their teammates, so that way they can't easily make a tag to get out of the ring. That often leads to a moment in a match called a hot tag, where after an extended period of time of being kept away from their partner, they will finally manage to make the tag, and then their fresh partner can come in and start firing away at the other team, which usually has a big response. One last thing, because I know it's been a sticking point for you, Ryan. In order for the rules to be enforced, the referee has to see what's going on. So that's really where tag team wrestling stands apart, because you have a partner that can distract the referee for good or bad, and they can that can then allow the man in the ring to get away with some stuff that might ordinarily get them disqualified.
Or just knock the referee out.
Yeah. And since there's no instant replay, the referee spends a lot of time just trying to establish order and keep the peace in a traditional tag team match.
Have they discussed a challenge flag in WWE?
They should have. I remember there was a skit at one of the old WrestleManias, I think it was like WrestleMania 7, where they had a skit about whether or not instant replay should be involved. And George Steinbrenner was a guest.
God, dude. Oh,
was a guest on this.
I fucking hate that guy.
There's also some old NFL talking head that was a part of it too. And like it was just a big joke thing. Yeah. But I think the NFL was considering instant replay. And so the WWF was kind of poking cheeky fun at the concept. But that's pretty much it. So with keeping these items in mind, we're about to be whisked away to Madison Square Garden in 1989 to see the Brainbusters take on the Rockers in a battle for tag team supremacy. Who's going to come out on top? The youthful and athletic Rockers or the ring-savvy and cunning tacticians, cunning linguists of the Brainbusters? We're going to find out, shall we? But before we do, one last thing. Wrestle with the data, 58, 40, and 2.
Pretty fucking good.
It's you know what? I've shit on you for being a little overconfident. It's pretty solid.
Pretty solid.
It's a pretty solid record. Yeah. This is the 101st match that we've watched thus far. And maybe probably most importantly to Ryan, because he puts a lot of priority on these types of things. He's on a 6-match win streak, which ties his all-time record.
I'm tied again? I swear to God I beat that last time. Did I not?
You did not.
I was just coming up to it.
You've tied it. A win today would set the new record of 7 in a row.
I really want to get over this hump.
I know you do.
Tired of like, no.
of reaching it and then faltering. No. Yes, okay. We've done this a couple times, but yes, if you with a win today, this sets an all-time new record.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Any questions?
I don't think so. No, I think I'm good.
Perfect. Well, we will be back. We're going to watch the Brainbusters versus the Rockers at Madison Square Garden. Thanks very much, everybody.
The Rockers, as we know, are a super team. They look like being champions within no time at all. They can combine their skills so perfectly. They blend so well. But look at the Brainbusters. They're there. They look awesome without doing anything. They just stand in their corner. They look at the opposition quite coldly.
Shawn Michaels hanging on for dear life to the arm of Tully Blanchard. He's trying to get over and make the tag, and I believe he has made the tag. However, the referee didn't see it, and he's going to chase Arn Anderson, and here's a tag for the Rockers, and suddenly Jannetty is in. And the referee didn't see that one either.
Well, Hebner should really change that, because he didn't see it, and you're only supposed to call what you see.
And now you have the Brainbusters double teaming on Jannetty, but they're the ones that pay the price. And here is Anderson, and here is Blanchard. First one, then the other, getting it from Marty Jannetty. But look at this, as Shawn Michaels is there, a couple of quick back heel sabot kicks by the Rockers, and out go the Brainbusters.
And this crowd are right behind him, and I'm sure that that's the only thing that's motivating him, because he has taken such a cruel amount of punishment in this last 5, 6, or 7 minutes. It's imperative that he makes the
Anderson
tag.
has made the tag, and Michaels has made the tag. And so it's Jannetty and Blanchard, Jannetty and Anderson, Jannetty and Blanchard, Anderson, Blanchard. It's all Marty Jannetty. Whoa, Anderson caught him in the solar plexus, and so did Blanchard. And here the Busters. Look at this. Whoa, head knocker time. And here is Shawn Michaels to the shoulders of Marty Jannetty. Blanchard is there. Jannetty comes over, covers him, gets only 2. But what a move by the Rockers. Front face lock here by Jannetty on Blanchard. Up goes Blanchard. However, from the outside, Anderson reaching in and pulls the legs out. He pulled the legs out from under Marty Jannetty. Jannetty is stunned when he hits the deck, and the 3 count goes for the Brainbusters, and a W for the man of Bobby Heenan.
And you can definitely put that down.
We are back. We just watched the Brainbusters versus the Rockers. Ryan, I know you're
Devastated.
a little devastated, putting the pieces together, etc.
I've been back in this room with a loss for a long time.
It's been years.
Yeah.
It's been years, Ryan. What did you think of the match?
It was fine. Like I said, I thought it was like a well done match. I don't hate the match at all. Like,
it's a different style than we.
Yeah, but it was good. Like for
89. Yeah,
but like it just had all like the great wrestling moves. Like, and I thought it was well executed and like well played. But It's always going to hurt. I'm going to try to keep that the loss out of my mind when
But
I thought it was a good match. Like I didn't hate it. Yeah.
Okay. Any standout moments? Any standout performers? Anything you want to mention before I get into the notes?
What was his name? Ant?
Arn Anderson?
Arn?
Arn.
Did
you call him Ant?
Okay. It's not that's not much of a difference. Arn. It's just as bad of a name.
Arn. Presumably it's short for Arnold.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked him. I liked that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say he was your favorite guy of the whole match?
No. Yeah.
I mean, he was really responsible for that W.
Yeah.
So, you got
to give it to a guy like that,
Yeah.
So, no. Yeah. I don't. Just a good, solid wrestling match,
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Good crowd.
I respect that. Yeah, Madison Square Garden. I would say the crowd was unpresent. Maybe it was a little blacked out. Like maybe the lighting, but not like you saw Madison Square Garden for that event. Like,
sure,
it's got to be
a big deal.
Yeah.
So this puts Ryan at a 1-match losing streak, just so we're all clear. But when the match begins, so both teams warming up as the ref starts giving out instructions. We've got Shawn Michaels and Arn Anderson starting things off. And I mean, right from the very beginning, you kind of have like the Busters fucking with the Rockers, like with different things to try and, because like
call them the Busters,
apostrophe Busters, the Busters, fucking with the Rockers in a number of different ways. Because like ideally, what you want is to have the good guys, the baby faces, pissed off to such a point where then when they kind of come back with cheating, the fans are like really wanting it to happen. Like, yeah, they cheated back. Fuck you, Brainbusters, yada, yada. So like the very beginning of the match is like Arn Anderson repeatedly getting out of headlocks by pulling Shawn's hair and like knocking him down that way. And so like after enough of this happening, eventually Shawn just like basically decks Arn in the face and like Marty gets on it.
I'm just saying the hair thing should be illegal. Like you grow your hair out. Great look. Don't get me wrong. But like you did that, if you don't want your hair poured, shave your head, like that's,
What was it you were saying about the NFL in this regard?
It's just illegal. Like you can use their hair as.
Is that a recent decision?
No, that's been forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You can use a necklace too.
Oh shit!
Like if you can grab onto anything, you just can't grab onto their face mask
or their the back, right? That's a horse collar.
Horse collar, yeah. But like you can grab onto anything that's like extending out of their jersey. Like if they have long hair, you can pull them right down by the hair. It's completely.
Oh Jesus Christ! I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. Learned something every day. This guy's a real resource, a real encyclopedia of football knowledge.
People say that.
Again, we've got a couple moments where kind of things break down. The refs desperately trying to get control of everything, but usually when those types of things happen, the Rockers kind of clean house, take the Brainbusters out. The Brainbusters have to regroup on the outside of the ring. Like that was sort of a theme that happened a few times over the course of the match itself. But jumping back to the notes here, I liked the bit where Shawn gets backed into the ropes by Arn Anderson, and then instead of a clean break, Arn slaps Shawn right in the face, and so you can tell Shawn's like pissed, so he starts firing away with some punches. He eventually backs Arn in the corner and slap back to him. That's really in just like a 30-second bit, a very accurate approximation of like what wrestling is. Like the bad guy being a dick unnecessarily, and then the good guy getting revenge on that bad guy. There's some attempts at double teaming by the Brainbusters, but Shawn's kind of outsmarting them. He like ducks out of the ring at one point. There's another point where I think it was Tully was trying to literally drag him by the arm into the corner so that they could kind of like double team him over there. And like instead of getting drug, Shawn just pushes Tully into Arn. And so it's just a lot of moments of like the bad guys are sort of buffoons. Like they call that in the business showing your ass. You're not afraid to like be made to look like a fool sometimes.
And that's wrestling.
Yeah.
Right there.
As a bad guy, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Arn Anderson, one of my favorite bits. I don't know that you caught it. I know I tried to address it when it happened. There was a lot of like little minutia that we had to go back and kind of revisit.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I forgive you. At this point, I'm used to it. But Arn attempts to tag Tully's foot, but the referee's like, no, that doesn't count as a tag. You cannot tag his foot. And so like Arn tries to get in the ring, and then the referee escorts him out from there. But
the referee's doing a lot of work.
It was like the most active refereeing I think that we've ever seen in a match.
Yeah, well, I see a lot of trying to referee,
Sure,
he
attempts.
actually this was,
he was effective at a certain few points.
Cleaner than it was a little bit cleaner, but
sure.
Yeah.
Well, right after the attempted foot tag, the Brainbusters make an actual tag, but the referee, and this was one of the bits that we kind of rewound back to see, but the referee didn't see it. The referee was kind of busy doing something with Marty, and so even though they really did make a tag, Arn gets escorted out, and then meanwhile, while he's getting let out by the referee, the Rockers then do not make a tag, switch, the referee turns around and is like, wait a minute, you weren't in the ring before, and then Shawn looks at the crowd and is like, we made a tag, didn't we? And everybody's like, yeah!
Yep. A little bit of lighting on the crowd,
I love it. Anytime that you can get the crowd in on the ruse, it always works. I've never seen it not work. But one of my favorite bits in the match. So after Arn, okay, let's see. There's some back and forth wrestling, some technical chain wrestling. There's a hammerlock and whatnot. Tully has Marty, I believe it was, in a wrist lock. Arn then gets in. Marty flips and counters and flips both Brainbusters over him.
Yeah.
Then there's a double drop kick. Arn then gets body slammed by Marty. Tully jumps off the top rope only to eat a punch to the gut. Then the Brainbusters get their bearings and they try to suplex Marty, only for Shawn to run in, catch Marty so he doesn't land, and then they do double super kicks to the Brainbusters, which that whole sequence was so great. Just fucking amazing sequence from start to finish, and very fluid, and I loved it. Arn signals for a timeout.
And that's, I assume, not...
That is not a thing in wrestling.
Yeah.
But it's a classic bad guy. I'm going to attempt to call a timeout.
Let me ask you this.
Uh-huh.
They initiate timeouts in wrestling. 3 timeouts.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about that?
I mean, 3... I think...
And they're commercial breaks, too.
Okay, now you sold me. More commercials, the better. Yeah. Now I'm on board for this thing. Tully extends his hand for a handshake to Marty.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there wasn't much to that. He never did it.
No. So the end result of that was Tully just booting Marty in the stomach.
Yeah.
So
was that in good faith, or was he gonna he was gonna
he was attempting to get Marty to grab his hand so then he could sucker punch him or do something like that. Which I mean,
just smart wrestling on the.
Yeah, and Marty never, to his credit, because there's dumb baby faces and there's smart baby faces, Marty never grabbed the hand. He knew these guys are pieces of shit. I'm not going to grab his hand. But then he still got kicked in the gut regardless.
I mean, if you do have a strong hand, though, maybe take that and just...
What you got to do is you got to soak your hand in water for 15 minutes before the match so the pruniness.
Your hand just slips off.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's going to give you more tensile strength of your fingers because you got more.
He just gets the skin, the pruny skin.
You think it'd be sort of slippier that with the prunes. Yeah, I thought it was going to be opposite.
Degloved,
Oh, why you got to say degloved on this fucking podcast? Nobody Google. If you don't know what degloving is, don't Google it.
It's perfect for this match.
Fucking yeah. I'd purged that term from my brain, and now you just reminded me of what it was, and it's gross.
My fault on that one.
Thank you. No. Where did we leave off? So for a while there, we'll just kind of jump ahead. Eventually, Shawn gets in, and the bulk of the match, probably you would say, is Shawn getting worked over by both members of the Brainbusters. They're making frequent tags. They're keeping Shawn in their corner of the ring. Shawn's attempting to tag out to Marty, but he just can't do it. And so they're just beating on him. And there's these flickers of hope where he'll hit a big crossbody off the top rope. He'll try and make the tag, but then, one of the Brainbusters will cut him off, that type of thing. And again, that's all building to the hot tag where, eventually Marty's going to come in. But again, there's quite a bit of time where Shawn's getting beat up. Tully hits his classic slingshot suplex from the top rope. Another one of my favorite moments. Now that I'm going through it, I really do like this match. There's a moment where Shawn is chasing Tully Blanchard outside of the ring, and meanwhile, Arn is like ducking so you can't see him around the corner. And so Tully runs around the corner. Shawn follows him. Tully attempts to clothesline Shawn when Shawn turns around the corner. Shawn ducks, but then Arn actually does clothesline him. No ducking there. And then, that kind of sets up the next 5 minutes or so of the Brainbusters really putting a hurting on Shawn.
Yep.
But then we get towards the end. We've got some more cheating by the Brainbusters, a very common theme throughout this match, where Arn is using one of Ryan's favorite holds, the abdominal stretch, and he's getting some leverage from his partner Tully to kind of put a little bit more stretch on the Shawn.
Abdominal stretch.
Yeah,
I don't know if I did I call that move? I might have.
You did. No, not this time around.
Oh, okay,
You've seen it before and you hated it before. I don't think you registered it as much this time, but it's like the one where the guy's kind of tied up and his arms like back like this, and the one guy's just kind of like standing over him. Like, it doesn't really make a whole ton of sense. Like, why doesn't he just walk away? Like, if you really think about it. But yeah, and then that's the point where Arn kind of reached behind himself, and then Tully grabbed his arm and was like pulling. The idea is so that way Arn could get more leverage and torque on Shawn's arm a little bit more. Arn hits a big spine buster, which he attempts a pinfall, which Marty breaks up. But then we've got this test of strength spot between Arn and Shawn where they're kind of going back and forth. But Shawn's wheeling himself up from his back. Arn's trying to force his shoulders down for a pinfall. Arn attempts to get some more leverage, so he like kicks himself up, jumps up in the air with the idea of like putting more weight down on Shawn, but Shawn gets his legs up and essentially Arn Anderson crotches himself on Shawn's legs. So that gives Shawn the opportunity to finally tag his partner Marty Jannetty back in. House of Fire, Marty's decking both of the Brainbusters. He hits him with the big double noggin knocker.
That's where I was right. That's where I was right.
And that's where you were right. You were doing so well.
So happy.
Shawn with the big leaping punch off of Marty Jannetty's shoulders. And then almost a pinfall, which is broken up by Arn Anderson, arguably the MVP of the match. Marty then goes for a suplex on Tully Blanchard, but he's too close to the ropes on the Brainbuster side of the ring. So what Arn does is he grabs the little 80s tassels, the 80s glam rocker tassels on Marty's boot, and then he like ducks behind the ring. So like the referee can't visually see him. Marty doesn't have the leverage to kick out because his boot's being held down by Arn. And what would ordinarily not be a pinfall because of the Brainbusters' rampant cheating turns into a cheaty pin.
I give it to him. It's a slick move.
Yeah.
I saw it in the replay.
Right, we watched it, and what did you think happened? Like, did you even register?
No, I thought it was done. I did not understand how that even happened. Like, the replay. I was like, oh, but the first time I was like, I had it. Like,
it slipped through my fingers.
I had no idea.
Like sand through the hourglass.
God damn. No, but then you see it, and like you credit where credit's due. You could cheat that slick. Like I give him credit. I'm not pissed. If that had worked out in my favor, I would have been like, hey,
game.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, I get it. Yeah. Not mad, just
disappointed.
A little bit.
The parent, parent line.
But yeah.
It was a good effort.
Thank you.
But that's the match.
Well,
any other thoughts, comments, concerns?
I think I let it all out.
It'll be a few years before Ryan gets to the 7.
I just think 6 matches.
Yeah.
How many months has that been?
Oh, I mean,
has it been since I've been back here?
I'd have to work out. I'd have to work it all out. I don't know. It's
gonna be a long time. Like
it's gonna be a bit before you have the opportunity.
So I'm not a little sad, but it's all right.
Yeah. But that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah. So I'll just say that for now. But I guess we got to rank it. We got to see where this whole thing goes. Do you have it on your phone or?
I do.
I guess I'll pull it up on my computer just so I can visually see it here. So what are we thinking? So categorically, great.
It's going in great.
Okay, wow. All right.
I'm sorry. No, it's not going in great. It's going in good. It's going in good.
I was like, oh, wow.
No. Yeah. No, like it just didn't have that thing that like stuck with me, like
okay.
resonated enough to like put it up there.
Okay.
It's hard to get into my...
Would you say it is good teetering towards bad or good teetering towards great?
I think it's somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
Like, it's just...
It's the most okay of all, or most good of all the
It
goods.
was just a good match. Like, I watched it, and I just thought the wrestling was really good. But there wasn't, like... I didn't think the commentators were that great. I didn't think the crowd was that great. The wrestling was, like, fantastic, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there was nothing that pulled me to move this, like... I didn't think it was poor good. I think it was great good. You know, it's in the middle here. So I gotta
poor good, just great good. So the very middle of good. I'm trying to simultaneously look at the thing and also talk towards the microphone.
The new 38. Just bump it right above Hulk versus Yokozuna.
You're putting it above Hulk versus Yoko.
Yeah.
38.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just peek.
Yeah. Take a peek.
Are you just doing it to bump Hulk down because you think it makes me mad? Because you said you've done that before.
Should I stop doing this?
It doesn't bother me at all.
I feel like it might be discrediting my ranking system.
I mean, you know, I'll let the Markomania.
But it is exactly where I said in the middle, and I just think that if I can do that on top of it, you know, like. But you're right. Maybe I should stop doing that. Like.
I wouldn't let that be your soul divining sort of rod.
It is literally in the dead center of good. Like, look at it. Like, I don't think it could be any more dead center of good.
Let's see. So around there,
you got to put it somewhere. You know.
I mean, that's true. You got to put it somewhere. So let's see. Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna. Which, just so you know, I know you probably don't remember that. So there was a match that we watched, Bret Hart versus Yokozuna, where like there was some chicanery where salt, definitely not cocaine, was thrown into Bret Hart's face from Yokozuna's evil manager, Mr. Fuji. Hulk Hogan came out and wrestled maybe 30 seconds and beat Yokozuna for the WWF title. And so, like, because it was a separate match, which you protested, we ranked it separate from the Bret Hart match. That's what that was, just so you know.
Okay. That's fine. It's good principle.
That's fine. Okay, great.
No.
So you're saying this would be...
I'm gonna ease up on my ranking stuff above Hulk.
Okay.
Moving forward. Just tonight, not gonna do it, but moving forward.
What are the odds that you remember you said this?
No, very good.
Okay, got it.
Because next time I put a match somewhere in the Hulk sale, I'll be like, oh shit, like, you know, I gotta watch that.
So he's saying Brainbusters versus Rockers better than Hulk Hogan versus Yokozuna 30-second squash match, which was a weird thing, but not as good as Kenny Omega versus Kazuchika Okada.
Definitely not.
The 60-minute draw between those two guys. So that's
trying to fuck with me here. Like
the idea that those two I mean, now they're not next to each other, but the idea that you would put Hulk Hogan and Yokozuna, which again was 30 seconds, immediately below a 60-minute draw, is funny to me.
No, I do what I do.
Okay, so you said 38.
Yeah. But I'm gonna watch that.
Okay, new 38.
Yeah.
Let me write that down so I know. What's it for me? I guess we got to find out. See, like, I'm teetering between good and great. I could probably make a case for either one. I guess it just kind of depends on what I see match-wise that speaks to me here. So top of good is Ric Flair and Terry Funk. Ooh, that's an I Quit match.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it.
That had sexual choking, according to Ryan. Ryan claimed that Terry Funk sexually choked Ric Flair. Or actually,
I believe I said that, but I just don't.
You said it.
The way you recall it, you know.
Sexual choking, which was not what happened in that match.
Now I'm not sure if I said that.
If only we had instant replay, that we could have gone back and reviewed those details. But Taz versus Bam Bam, that's where the ring broke. I don't think this is as good as those, but we're close. It's going to be up towards the top of good, approaching great. So I don't think it's quite great. I really like the match a lot. Funk versus Lawler, Empty Arena, Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Man, I'm gonna say, and then Rick Rude, Pez Wally. I'm also gonna put it 38.
And that is that on the top of your good list?
It's not the very tippy top,
but it's right there. Yeah,
it's like third from top of good. So I'm saying this is just below Taz versus Bam Bam Bigelow, but right above Rick Rude versus Pistol Pez Whatley, which I did make some adjustments to my very slight ones. I'm sure most people would not even notice, but
I noticed. when you said it.
Yeah. But this might be the first time that we've ranked the exact same number.
Some would say I'm great at ranking wrestling matches.
Some would say. Some would say. I don't know if I would get there just yet, but some might say it. Well, Ryan, I know it's sad. I know it's a unfortunate series of events that we have to come to this, but eventually all things must end.
All good things.
That is, I mean, what is the beauty of life if there's not beginning and endings? You know, you can't have one without the other. It's the yin and the yang, like a Ashley Beckett necklace. I'm going to let that marinate because there's only a handful of people that are going to understand that reference.
Okay, right.
You won't.
Yeah, okay.
But
inside joke?
Anyone who knows.
Or is this an outside joke?
It's a very inside joke.
Okay, good.
Very inside. But what that signals, it being the end, means I get to impart a little bit of Eric's wisdom tree. That was pretty clean.
Yeah.
What am I feeling? What am I feeling today? So I actually have I don't know if you could call this wisdom. Maybe a more piece of advice. I don't know. Maybe something that people haven't thought of.
That would be wisdom, though, right? Like,
sure.
Yeah.
So I didn't come up with this from scratch. I think I heard about somebody else doing this or whatever, and I was like, that's a really great idea. So I'll just mention this in case it sparks the inspirato for anyone else. I signed Evelyn up for an email address.
Oh,
yeah.
Which one? Which domain?
Just Gmail.
Nice.
A Gmail. But email addresses are getting snatched up left and right. In another 15 years,
unless you're creative.
Unless you're creative. But so I grabbed her name on Gmail, which I had to even then I had to add in a middle name and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just I was hoping for just.
You added her full first, middle, and last.
I have it saved in my
four of her social.
Right, exactly. Every identifying piece of information is included. Birth date, mother's maiden name. It's all in there. But yeah, I did that thinking maybe once she starts needing a professional email someday, she'll be like, oh, well, thanks, Dad, for in 2024 signing me up for an email.
That's not even going to be a thing.
What do you mean? You don't think people are going to use email?
It's going to be it's I don't know how to say this.
Just say it.
I feel like she won't even have to use her own email address. It'll be just something else by the time she's how old are when you get an email? 16, 15, I don't know. Whatever. Whenever you need it. It'll be different and you're going to be left back in the old ages, She'll be like, oh my God, my dad was so embarrassing. He made me an email address.
So you're
what a millennial thing to do.
Wow.
I just think, that's my.
So you're the Nostradamus of technology, predicting that.
Not at all. I have no fucking clue. I am just just mark my words, Eric. All right.
Okay.
15 years from now, when she needs an email address, just let me know if. Also, even if my dad set me up with an email address when I was a kid, I'd be like, Dad, that email address sucks. I got to be and1streetballer at AOL.com,
Well, that's the beauties. You could still have and1streetballer. Wait, were you and1street?
I was. XX.
Capitalized, lowercase x, uppercase x?
I think it was, it might have been capitalized, but it could have been lowercase.
Or a combination of two.
Didn't matter.
Street baller.
And1streetballer.
And1streetballer.
Yeah, with an A.
Of course. Is this where you had your cornrows in as well?
A little before.
Yeah. You needed the email to complete the look. I understand.
Yeah, but it was cool, Eric, is what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, listen, I believe my AOL instant messenger name was eBuffDog. So, I mean, I'm right there with you, dog. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
But, everyone needs a professional email. I'm lucky that I managed to get, my name. Granted, it's not just first name, last name. There's some stuff in there. But it's no numbers. Yeah. That's the main key thing. But yeah, I had I grabbed something for her, which it's something.
Man, you're a good dad.
I try to look out for her.
That's all that matters. You did the right thing.
Yeah, you don't want a numbered email address is the thing, because once an employer sees a numbered email address, you're done.
What
for.
do you mean numbered?
I'm Eric 236.
Mine is RJ Murphy 1922.
Why is that?
It's not a great story or anything. I made one when I was 19, and then I made my next one when I was 22. So That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, but I felt like it was.
Well, there's probably a shitload of Ryan Murphys out there.
Well, yeah, and like I felt like it was decently professional. You know.
Mm-hmm. Would you prefer to just have ryan.murphy@gmail.com?
I have it on everything. My work email is already Ryan. Every time I go to work, it's always Ryan.Murphy. I need something else on my personal email. Okay, I don't need a dot in the middle of it. You know. So
you wouldn't want that. You're content with your 1922.
For my personal email, no. She's gonna get a job show over work email. She could deal with it the rest of her life.
I mean, longtime listeners will remember your lengthy job search. So I mean, maybe if you had a little bit more of a professional email, then that would have been a bit of a shorter gap. I'm just speculating here.
Play that one back, because
it was a long time, and I mean, you applied to probably several hundred jobs.
Well, no,
I think so.
I think I applied to 5, and I got the.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay, you're right. It wasn't 5, but I took a month off before I started.
Right. I
think the podcasters just remember it was on this podcast.
I just think that
job,
Coke Sucker 42069 at yahoo.com may not be the best.
I might go home and make a new email address, as that.
Right, please. That's the route to go. Then
that's available. I'm taking it.
Coke. I mean, only one way to find out.
Yeah.
That can also be your PS5 username moving forward.
And it will be if
you're
it's
sick of Breeze K, whatever the fuck.
I'd never guess K2.
Huh?
Is it Breeze K2?
I have no idea.
Pretty sure
it's Breeze K something. What's the significance of Breeze K?
The Plymouth Breeze, my car.
Oh,
yeah. And then K2 was a snowboard that I had. And so,
you just take inspiration from all sorts of fun places, don't you? You scallywag.
No.
The Plymouth.
You're trying to suck that all away from Elevin, okay?
I'm going to Google what a Plymouth Breeze is. I'm not eliminating her ability to create her own fun, fanciful.
Hey, kiddo. Step in here. We're going to talk about email addresses.
Right. I mean, we don't. That's the thing. We don't have to.
And I made you one back in 1992.
An excellent professional one that is just her name. So, for anyone, I didn't think there was going to be a lot of Evelyn Donaldsons out there, but apparently there's more than I thought. So I had to, get a little creative.
You could do some numbers on it. It's okay. Like,
I didn't do, well, I didn't have to.
I know you didn't.
Oh, yep. That's a car. All right. Plymouth Breeze.
The Plymouth bitch ass Breeze.
Oh, I had a Mazda 626 that I would say would be right in line with the Plymouth Breeze overall.
The Mazda RX-7 twin turbo. I watched.
What are you doing? I don't know.
I watched Fast and the Furious on my way to. Where I go last Kansas City, and I was it's on Netflix now. The original one.
Okay.
Great movie. I thought it was good at the time.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good when I watched it again.
You know what else is on Netflix? Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. No. No shit.
Believe it. Yes. Yeah. One other thing I'll mention, just because I thought it was funny, is there was a tweet by a online wrestling personality, not a wrestler, but somebody. And in the United States, it's just Monday Night Raw that's on Netflix. Outside of the US and Europe and stuff, it's all the WWE catalogs, all their pay-per-views and shit like that. So all the years of WrestleMania are there. And because it's Netflix, if there's a new show that you're discovering, you're not going to go to the most recent season. You're going to go to the very beginning and watch from there. And so this person tweeted about how they had a friend that's not a wrestling fan that was like, oh, WrestleMania is on Netflix. Oh, I should watch WrestleMania. And they started from fucking WrestleMania 1 in 1985. And just the idea of somebody even attempting to watch that in today, I can't even imagine somebody lasting more than 7 minutes watching that shit. But, maybe one of these days you and I can sit down and watch.
Maybe
WrestleMania 1.
Tequila.
Oh man, I don't think I'd waste. I don't think I'd waste that opportunity on WrestleMania 1. To be honest, there's probably lots of other shows that I would do before that. But
yeah, that's fair.
Who knows? I don't know. Next time, depending on the length of time. So on full disclosure, until this became such a large gap, I was planning on having Rumpus Time be a supermarket special. So assuming that we don't have as long of a gap, which we I don't know, probably won't, but who knows, the next Rumpus Time will be the supermarket special. So put that on your calendar.
All right. I'll do that.
I'll leave the planning to me.
Yeah, no,
you don't have
gonna,
to.
Yeah, okay.
Supermarket special.
Yeah,
maybe coming up unless it's another big gap, and then we'll have too many assassinations to talk about. Yeah. Too many. But if you're not hard, get hard. Once you get hard, stay hard. Take it sleazy, everybody.
That's all, folks.
Thank you. That's all, folks. Well, this guy. We're professional. Not I, just him. Oh, Marty being Marty.